Children's Day morning began with music, balloons, dancing and laughter at Bright Future School. The children wore colourful clothes instead of uniforms, and everyone was excited. There would be games, cake, gifts, and a talent show. 10-year-old Toby could hardly sit still. "This will be the best Children's Day ever!" he shouted as he raced across the playground. His best friend, Amara, laughed. "You say that every year." "And every year I'm correct," Toby replied proudly. The teachers decorated the school hall with shiny ribbons and stars. Parents arrived carrying snacks and cameras. Little children danced around like happy butterflies. Then something strange happened.
Right in the middle of the celebration, the school lights blinked once, then twice. Then, poof! Every single child disappeared. Just like that. The playground became silent. Parents looked around in confusion. Teachers screamed. Half-eaten cupcakes dropped to the floor. Only the adults remained. Where are the children? What happened? Somebody call the police. Mrs. Grace, the head teacher, nearly fainted. But far away from the frightened adults, the children suddenly found themselves standing in a huge, colourful place filled with clouds shaped like animals, giant candy trees, and floating kites. The children gasped. "Where are we?" Amara whispered.
A cheerful voice answered, "Welcome to the land of forgotten children." Everybody turned around. Standing before them was a tiny old woman wearing bright yellow shoes and carrying a silver umbrella. "My name is Mama Smile," she said kindly. "And today, you children are my special guests." Toby frowned. "Excuse me, we didn't ask to come here." Mama Smile sighed sadly. "I know, but many grown-ups have forgotten something important." "What?" the children asked. "They have forgotten how precious children truly are." The children became quiet. Mama Smile waved her umbrella, and suddenly the sky turned into a giant moving screen. The children watched scenes appear in the clouds. One father was too busy pressing his phone to listen to his daughter's story. A mother kept shouting instead of hugging her son. A teacher ignored a quiet child sitting alone. Some children looked lonely, even though adults were around them. Toby slowly lowered his head. Many adults provide food, clothes, and school fees, but sometimes they forget that children also need love, listening ears, kindness, and time. The children watched silently. Then Mama Smile smiled again. "But today is Children's Day, so today adults must remember." She tapped her umbrella. Suddenly the adults back at school could hear the voices of their children echoing everywhere. "Play with me. Plead me. I tried my best. I just wanted a hug. I wanted you to notice me." Parents began to cry. Teachers hugged one another. Even the strict security man wiped his eyes. Toby's father fell to his knees. "I work so hard for my son, but when last did I truly sit and talk with him?" Amara's mother whispered, "I thought buying gifts was enough." Back in the magical land, The children saw everything.
Then Mama Smile asked, "Do you know the funny thing?" "What?" Toby asked. "Children also forget adults have feelings too." The children blinked. "Parents get tired," she continued softly. "Teachers worry. Adults make mistakes. Sometimes they need love too." The children thought carefully. Toby remembered how he shouted at his mother the day she forgot to buy biscuits. Amara remembered ignoring her grandmother. A small boy began to cry. "I didn't know my dad was struggling." Mama Smile nodded. "That is why both children and adults must learn to love each other better." Then she clapped her hands. "Now," she announced, "it is time to go back." The children cheered excitedly. The clouds spun around them. The candy trees disappeared. The wind whistled loudly. And a loud magical burst. Poof! Suddenly, every child was back exactly where they had disappeared from. Parents ran forward with tears and hugs. Teachers laughed and cried at the same time. Toby's father lifted him tightly into the air. "I'm sorry I've been too busy lately," he whispered. "And I'm sorry for being stubborn sometimes." Amara's mother kissed her forehead again and again. Nobody even cared much about the cake anymore. Then Toby suddenly looked around. "Wait, where is Mama Smile?" But there was no sign of her anywhere. Only one small silver umbrella lay near the stage. Mrs. Grace picked it up carefully. Attached to it was a tiny note. "Children are not just small people. They are big treasures in small bodies. Happy Children's Day." And from that day onward, something changed. Parents listened more. Teachers smiled more.